All righty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another week of Florida Live. Super excited to be with you folks. Today is the first Monday of the month, so I just want to report to you guys, we're doing a phenomenal job. Super excited for everything that everyone's doing. We're not going to announce a whole lot of state news today because we have a very special guest speaker today, but I just want to let you know that you guys are still killing it, folks. Florida is on fire, doing absolutely amazing, incredibly humbled by the incredible job that our associates are going out there and getting done, empowering and protecting those families, advancing the Legal Shield mission, and really making a difference, folks. So listen, please stay tuned. We have some big announcements coming up later on, but we're going to start off our first segment here. Everyone's favorite, guys, Interview with Success. So I'd like to bring in our co-host. Ladies and gentlemen, this individual is a superstar with Legal Shield, doing some incredible things out in his marketplace. Regional director, he's a bronze executive director here with us, folks. None other than Mr. Jeffrey Lewis. Sir, are you there?
I am. Thank you, Mr. Gonzalez. I do appreciate you. Excited to be here, sir.
So well, the floor is yours, my friend. Thank you so much for all that you do.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate you. So, guys, welcome to Interview with Success today. And I have a special opportunity for you guys today. And it's always a special day, but today we actually have one of the individuals that make it all possible for us to have the legal system the way it is. This gentleman got his JD from the University of Florida in 1998. He's gotten awards such as the Martindale Hubbell AV Preeminent Status. Look, Florida Trend, Legal Elite 2016, 2018. He's even been rated a Florida super lawyer. We have none other than the warrior, the battler on the front line of justice himself, Mr. Dan Mantzaris. How's it going, Mr. Mantzaris?
It's going great, Jeffrey. Glad to be here today.
Oh, man. So listen, I don't want to waste any
Before
time.
you start, though, can I correct one thing? You made me a lot younger than I really am. I graduated law school in 1986.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So I appreciate the years, but with this hairstyle, it's tough to really tough to go back that soon in time.
I was trying to give you something. So, listen, I don't want to waste any time, on this stuff. I want to talk about some great things because it's seldom that we have an opportunity to talk to you like this because you're busy. You're out there defending us and keeping us safe. And so, I want to start off by asking, Mr. Mantzaris, what made you want to become an attorney?
That's a good question, Jeffrey. So, my father was an attorney, practiced up in New York before we relocated to Florida. And, my father's father used to talk about being an attorney, and he literally believed that being an attorney was the most honorable profession that a person could have. And so I guess it was sort of inbred into me when I was young. I heard him talk about about being an attorney and things that attorneys did that could help people. My father did it, so I saw how he did it. And then, and so it's an easy, nice transition for me because I was exposed to it all my younger years.
Oh, so that's awesome. So you come from a long line of people that battle and fight for other people. And so
my grandfather, both my grandparents immigrated over here from over in Greece, and so they came over here and worked hard. And education was a big thing for them, and they wanted their kids and their grandkids to be educated. So that was always part of it. They were really work hard to get in there and fight for what's right.
So, okay. So I'm loving this. You come from a background where working hard is something that was ingrained in you, and you have a heart for service. How awesome is that to know that that's one of our Legal Shield provider attorneys, one of the generals himself. Let me ask you a different question here. In your opinion, how do you determine who would be a good Legal Shield supporting attorney? I mean, you run these large law firms all throughout the state, right? And what tells you this person would be a great Legal Shield supporting attorney?
And you just touched on it a little bit, Jeffrey. So I'll just follow up on that because you kind of hit the nail pretty close to right on the head there. So what we do is I can look at a resume when I see an attorney, and I can see whether they went to a good law school and they did a good job and they got decent grades and they came out and they passed the bar. But what I look for are those attorneys that are dedicated to service in some way. I look for those that really want to help people. When we talk to them not necessarily about what they did in their legal careers, but what they do outside of their legal careers. What they do with their families. Truthfully, I ask this question all the time in interviews, and a lot of attorneys look at me and go, what kind of question? I've never been asked. I want to know what they did in high school during their summer breaks. I want to know when they were in college, when they weren't studying, and what they want to do. So if they tell me they went on a mission trip, for example, or they tell me that they volunteer at their church, or they tell me they volunteer at a local soup kitchen or something, or they tell me, even if they tell me they worked in a restaurant, bussing tables or waiting tables, I know from that those attorneys, those people are dedicated to customer service, because I'm sure you know it. Yep. Working in a restaurant, working in customer service is very difficult. So I look for people like that. And if I can find those lawyers, and I think we've done a good job finding them that can focus that way, I've got a good attorney that can work for our Legal Shield members.
I love that. I love that. You look for all the extras. Okay. All right. Well, let me ask a different question then. What does it mean to you to be a Legal Shield attorney, for people that could normally not even afford access if it wasn't for a system like this? What does it mean to you to be that type of attorney, or one that provides that type of service for those that are less fortunate in some sense?
Well, it means pretty much everything to me and to our firm. As a lot of people know, and a lot of people are starting to realize over the last several years, maybe a decade or 2 decades now, the traditional practice of law as we know it, and I've been practicing law, as I said, since 1986. So the practice of law when I get out of law school is much different than it is right now, because individuals have been basically pushed out of the legal services market. The individuals are not able to come out and pay the exorbitant amount of attorney's fees on an hourly basis that lawyers are used to charging. And they actually told us that when we were in law school. Get ready, go out, get yourself a big mortgage, and you'll be able to charge hourly rates and pay for it.
Wow.
Right? Well, that's not the truth. That's gone away. And the reason why that's gone away is because entities like Legal Shield have learned that the traditional practice of law has failed individuals and families and small businesses. So we're able to do what we do, and we're committed to doing what we're doing because we're part of that. We're part of that ability to deliver affordable, excellent legal services to individuals and families and small businesses and help them with their needs. That's why we're committed to what we do, because we realize that traditional practice of law doesn't work for 95% of North America. It just doesn't work. And we are very pleased that we got associated with Legal Shield, and we started to learn and absorb that, and it's really helped our practice and helped us as individuals, and really confirms for us every day we're doing the right thing as a law firm.
So, okay. So that's awesome. I'm not even going to try to recant that, but I do want to use that as a segue to get into the service that we provide, right? I mean, it does so much, and I can't really get into all of it in this space, but let's just talk about one of the most, to me, underrated areas of the service, right? Unlimited advice. What does unlimited personal advice really mean? And can you access it on any subject matter?
You can access it on any subject matter, period. That's all I can't state that emphatically enough. But here's what the unique thing about that is. We're lawyers, right? Okay. The individual out there isn't used to dealing with a lawyer. So, and if I may use you an example,
sure.
You may be involved in something you don't even realize it has a legal component. Right? You may not even realize it because you're not experienced in that area. You're not a lawyer. But but you don't even realize it. So what Legal Shield allows is it allows for individuals to call us about everything, no matter how big or, more importantly, how small. Because just about everything everybody does on a daily basis has a legal component in it. So they need the ability to talk with an attorney. Now, very often we will get calls on matters which really don't have a complicated legal component. But you know what the beauty of that is? The member knows that now. They're not uncertain about what the issue is. They're not uncertain about whether they need to pursue their legal rights or not. They know where they are in the situation, and that's really what we deliver. So anybody can call us anytime about any legal issue. That's the beauty of the legal services plan through Legal Shield. And it really doesn't always have to be a legal services. I will tell you just a quick, funny little story. Years ago, when we first got started, we had a customer service rep who took a phone call from a woman who called us. She had a Legal Shield plan, and she was locked out of her car. And she wasn't sure who she was supposed to call, but she called us. Now, we're lawyers. I could probably figure out how to get into a car by throwing a brick through a window or something like that. But she didn't know what to do. So what she did was she flipped through the yellow pages. This is how long ago there were yellow pages. She flipped through the yellow pages and gave that member the number for a locksmith and said, hey, call these people, right? Wasn't a legal issue, but they called us anyway, and we helped them out. It was a great little short story, but it was kind of funny, but it was true. We want our people to call us about everything because we're not sure it does have a legal component to it. And if it does, they don't want to miss it.
Come on, Dan Mantzaris, you're my guy. I appreciate this. I really appreciate that. That's amazing. I love that story. Okay, so let me ask you this. With a service like that, obviously, we're getting a lot of value for a very, very low price. And you've been leading that law firm as a Legal Shield representative, amongst other things for years. So the statistics behind, what a member would get versus somebody who wasn't. So if somebody had to access, an attorney the same way our average member would, okay, without having the Legal Shield services, what would they have to pay in your opinion, on a month-to-month basis or a year basis in comparison?
Well, I've been looking at that, and we've been working with Legal Shield since 1996, so we've got a lot of history and a lot of statistics on it. In the course of our career with Legal Shield, we've handled about 1.2 million requests for service from our members. We have about 60,000 members in Florida, North Florida now. So we get a lot of requests for service. So what we did is, I've looked at that before because tried to figure out on a general basis a good analysis. So what we figured out is that the average member calls us about 4 times a year. Okay. And of course, and with the longer they are a member, sometimes it'll narrow down. So when a member has a membership, they may call us 10, 12 times in the first year. And then after that, it sort of balances out. But so we figure about 4 times a year. And we've also looked at it and said with follow-up contacts, reviewing documents, writing letters, talking to opposing parties, or dealing with individuals, explaining things. Each one of those times they call us is about 2 hours of an attorney's time. Now, not talking about not the support staff time, just the flat out attorney's time.
Okay.
So if you figure out that, for the lawyers, and our lawyers average over 20 years experience for the ones that work with Legal Shield. So a lawyer that averages over 20 years experience in the Central Florida area charges anywhere from $250 to $300 an hour. So figure out $250 an hour for 2 hours of time. So each one of those 4 intakes, 4 requests for service, the member, if they had to go down the road to an attorney that wasn't part of Legal Shield, would have paid $500. So you can easily look at it and say, at a reasonable rate, if they were to get the service they were getting with, on an average, Legal Shield members are probably saving about $2,000 per member in legal fees for their Legal Shield plan. So it's a long way of going around and explaining it, but it's the only way I think you can look at it. And of course, it's an average, so we spend a lot more with some of our other members, and some members we get through quicker. But on an average, I'd say that's a fair amount of savings that our members are experiencing by having their Legal Shield plan, and that's simply on benefit 1. That doesn't take into account traffic issues, trial defense issues, or anything else. That's simply writing letters, getting your will done, reviewing documents, making phone calls. That's all that is.
Oh, how much I've used the traffic kicker alone. I'm sure mine would have been above that. Thank you to both you, Knight Simmons, Mantzaris, and Neil. So let me ask this. So talking about that, because you talked about, that one area. So in your opinion, the 25% membership discounted area, okay, number one, would you consider that valuable? And number two, why should associates find that, valuable, that area valuable in your opinion?
Well, it is valuable, obviously, because it's a complete reduction on the amount of attorney's fees that a member would have to pay if their matter isn't covered under some other portion of the plan. And remember, Jeffrey, that's why it's important why associates should do it. The plan is so well designed to address most issues that members, individuals, and families and small businesses could have to deal with, that by the time you get to the point where something isn't covered, it really is that once in a lifetime, extremely serious event.
I love the way you said that.
And at that time now, they've reached that point, and they have this incredible ability to get a lawyer that may charge. There's some of our lawyers have been practicing for 30 years, and like me, I hate to say, but that long. But so we routinely charge $300, $350 an hour. So to get a discount of 25%, which could lower it down by close to $100 an hour, that's an incredible benefit. Remember, and it's for those instances that don't happen that often. It's something everyday incident. It's really the once, maybe twice in a lifetime where people have to use that benefit 5 or that preferred member discount.
So, all right. So let's talk about this. We talk about that. Let's shift gears here a little bit. So you've actually seen a lot of member successes in success stories in your time. Can you share with us a story about a success that was the most impactful for you since you've been a Legal Shield provider attorney? Sure,
and we have a lot of them, as you pointed out, Jeffrey, and we have a lot related to litigation and complicated matters. But there's one that's particularly, I think, indicative, not only touching, but indicative of the Legal Shield plan. So we had a member that contacted us that was he had gotten hurt at work and was on disability, and his workers' comp benefits ran out, but then he also had a disability insurance policy. And his disability insurance policy was paying him periodic benefits over the course of every month. And his insurance company was doing the right thing. They were working with him to do that. Well, it turned out that he wasn't able to go back to work eventually. So his insurance company, in their plan, they had an ability to do a payout where they basically negotiate with them and say, we're going to write you a check for a certain amount of money, and that's what those are going to be your benefits.
Right.
Well, they did the right thing as an insurance company. They suggested that he contact a lawyer and get good legal advice. Well, he reached out to a lawyer that he saw advertised on TV that specialized in disability matters, right? And he was getting ready to sign up with that lawyer, but then I don't know what happened. I imagine what happened is either his spouse or his friend or maybe his sales associate said, hey, buddy, you have a Legal Shield plan. Why don't you call them, right? So he picked up the phone, he called us, right? And we helped him negotiate through it all. We ended up helping him with his settlement, helping with his settlement documents and getting his payout. And the insurance company ultimately paid him about $180,000. So we were able to help him do that. Now, what's key to this story is when it was all said and done, he told our attorney that he was working with, I told you I called another lawyer. Well, that lawyer wanted to charge me 40% to basically do what you did. So by using the plan that he already had, by using that plan, he saved himself about $80,000. Just by not going with the attorney who was going to take 40%, the one that advertised from his claim. So it was just really a great little way of story to deal with it. And I felt like it's very indicative of how the plan works. He had already paid for the benefits. That was done completely on the benefit one. It cost him the price of his monthly membership. That was it. And it didn't cost him about $75,000, $76,000 he would have had to pay an attorney otherwise.
Wow. I love that. That's an amazing story. Okay, so let me ask this. Dan, why is it important for people to go to that open house, in your opinion?
Well, first of all, we missed the open houses because of this pandemic.
Right. Not during these times.
I can't wait to get back. The best way I can say it is that, you always hear it, and I've been to plenty of meetings, and I'm sure I've heard you say it, Jeffrey, and I've heard Daniel say it. What does a $16 or $20 a month attorney look like?
Mm-hmm.
We know that sales associates are out there marketing Legal Shield, trying to get the word out, and we're very, very grateful for that. But we also know that to help them with their marketing, they need to understand who we are as the provider attorney. And the best way to do that is to come to our open house in a small group setting by 8 to 10, 12 people, sit around our conference table,
Yep.
talk to our partners, get a tour of our office, see that we are a real, brick and mortar law firm with real furniture and real people, and come in and say, here it is. And that's the best way to do it, because we want everybody that's selling Legal Shield to be out there to be comfortable that we can get the job done, and we want to have a strong relationship with them. And we wish we could see everybody every month, but we can't. So come visit us.
Yep.
Come see us. Come to our office when we start this thing up again, and come sit in our conference room. We'll give you some coffee. We may even have some cookies.
Oh, but, I'm there.
So come on. We'd love to see you.
Okay. So obviously, Mr. Mantzaris, I think, and many of us in the Florida area think that you're a super lawyer. We love you. But what does it mean to be rated a super lawyer by a group of your peers? What does that mean? What does that title even mean? It sounds cool, but what is it?
Well, I don't have a cape that goes with it. So what super lawyers is? Super lawyers is a rating that's done by your peers, as you suggested, Jeffrey. It's done by the Martindale Hubbles, the entity that owns Martindale Hubble, which is Thomas Reuters. And they rate the attorneys, and their attorneys are nominated, and then they're voted on by their peers. So I've been pleased to be ranked rated as a super lawyer among several other attorneys some of my partners in my firm, and it really does. And I think it's important to me that it recognizes that it's recognition that my peers who I work with know that I'm a good lawyer and I'm dedicated to do it. It doesn't mean I can solve everybody's problems. Doesn't mean I can make them all go away. But it does mean that I'm going to work hard for you. I'm going to work ethically for you. I'm going to work professionally for you. And I'm going to work to the utmost of my ability to help your legal issue get resolved, or to a point that it can be resolved.
So right on that same vein, what does it mean to have an AV rated law firm? I mean, I understand, AV must be the highest, but what does that really mean to have an AV rated law firm?
Well, it obviously means that it's the highest rating that the Martindale Hubble provides to lawyers. It's based on your professional ability and your years of practice. I always joke, it's very simple to understand. It's probably because it's for lawyers to understand too. And A stands for A, like in ABC, it's the highest grade you can get. And V stands for very good. So, and so basically it means that you are very good ethically, very good professionally, and A is your ability as a legal professional to get the job done. And so it really is, it's a standard, it's the standard that's been used for 100 years. And it really is a level that not all lawyers attain, but we're very proud to have attained it, me individually and us as a law firm also.
I just got a couple more questions to ask. And one of them is, you deal with a lot of intake, a lot of attorneys and all the things. What do you do to help keep the quality so high? You guys won all of these accolades. You serve 60,000 people. That's a lot. And it's a base that's always growing. What do you do to control, for quality control and keeping, the capabilities so good?
Well, and that's another really good question. I think a lot of associates have to be aware of. First of all, we have a lot of help from Legal Shield. Legal Shield provides us a lot of tools from a customer service perspective, training tools, work. They're not telling us how to practice law, but they're helping us understand how we need to communicate with our members, communicate with our clients, be responsive to them, the things that the traditional practice of law doesn't do. So we work very hard to do that. We train our lawyers. We meet with them usually twice a month. We meet with all of our lawyers. We provide training videos. We bring in outside trainers to come talk to them. We provide, continuing legal education services for them. We try to give them all the resources they can so that they can be good lawyers. And then if we do have an element where we receive feedback from our members. We get very good ratings from our members. I'm sure a lot of individuals who work with us will get a rating or a survey in the mail. We get those surveys. We look at them. We love to publish the good ones and show everybody how great everybody's doing. Mm-hmm. We like to take the ones that aren't so good, and we talk to our attorneys about them. We talk to our staff about them. We say, hey, you may feel this went the way it was, but more importantly, our member didn't. So we need to do a better job on our end, making sure they understand what's going on, feel like they're getting value for the service, and clearly feel like we've helped them. And so we work on that. We work with them on that individual basis, and our lawyers really are very, very receptive to that and very responsive.
I love that. That's okay. So awesome. And I don't want to belabor. I want to make sure I get this question in. I think this is a perfect question to end with. Mr. Mantzaris, why is Legal Shield, the mission for justice and access for all, so important? I mean, you've been an attorney, you've seen the courtrooms, you know what's going on. Why is that so important?
Well, it's like I said earlier, the traditional practice of law has failed the American people, businesses, and families. It really has. If you look at the statistics, and I have seen some of them will talk about how 75% of the individuals in our country in the last year have been involved in legal matters without an attorney.
Wow.
And so that tells you that 25% of them or more are the only ones smart enough or able enough to have access to get an attorney involved. I mean, 75% of them are precluded from doing it. And the reason why is what I said earlier, is because the traditional practice of law has failed them. So it's so important that Legal Shield is out there. It's so important that Legal Shield sales associates are out there getting the word out. It's so important that people call us, pick up the phone and call us, and have us help them with their issues, because we really, really can help them with it. And it's so important that they know that they do not have to go it alone when it comes to a legal matter. They don't have to worry about having to show up in some lawyer's office, on the 20th floor of some building and hand a check for $5,000 as a retainer. All they have to do is get a Legal Shield plan, and they can, as we've said a couple of times on this tonight, and they can call us about anything.
That's right.
And that's really why it's so important.
Oh, Mr. Mantzaris, this has been a pleasure. Do you have any closing words for us today?
No, I would just like to say, not real close, other than to say, for those sales associates who are listening, we, on behalf of my firm, we really appreciate everything you do. We really do. We appreciate the fact that you're out there delivering the message. Our phone, as Jeffrey pointed out, our phone rings a lot. And that gives us the opportunity to do what we do best, and that is to be good lawyers and to help people. But our phone doesn't ring unless a Legal Shield associate has gone out there and gotten somebody to sign up for the plan. Otherwise, they're not calling us. So thank you for giving us that opportunity to do this. Thank you for giving us that opportunity to help people. And thank you for doing what you do.
I appreciate you too, Mr. Mantzaris. Well, listen, ladies and gentlemen, this has been an awesome time today. And that's all we have for tonight on Interview with Success. Back over to you, Mr. Gonzalez.
Awesome. Thank you, gentlemen, and Mr. Mantzaris, for taking time out of your day to be with us today with the Florida Associates. Mr. Lewis, thank you always for doing such an amazing job. Have a fantastic night, gentlemen.
Take care.
All right, Florida. So moving on here, super excited to share with you guys. That was an amazing interview with Mr. Mantzaris. Just amazing nuggets. You could see the power of the law firm that we have, why it's so important to go out and deliver what we do, guys. It's about the mission. It's about going out and helping as many people as we can. And you heard it from the horse's mouth, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Dan Mantzaris, one of the top attorneys in Florida, one of the partner attorneys at DSK Law, our North Florida provider. Just an amazing testament. So again, folks, I know you're all aware. You should be. And if you're not, here we go. We have an amazing leadership conference that is coming up this weekend, folks, the 9th and the 10th. This is going to be an off-the-charts leadership training, folks. If you don't know, where you need to go or how to grow in this business, That's where you need to be. You need to make sure that you get registered, that you get yourself a ticket, you get yourself the link to get on and participate in this live stream event that is happening this weekend on the 9th and the 10th, right? And I want to make a quick little announcement here for those associates that may have bundle tickets, folks. They reopened the bundle tickets. You now have all the way up to the event to assign those tickets. So if you're a brand new associate and you don't know how to get yourself a ticket to get onto this live stream event, reach up to your upline, reach up to your mentor, reach up to the person that recruited you in the Legal Shield and ask, how do I get a link to this live stream? Because I don't want to miss it, folks. I mean, Mr. Don Yeager, just in a mention, this gentleman interviews the top most successful athletes in the world, and he's written a book about the 16 different characteristics of the top performers, and he's going to be at our leadership conference this weekend, teaching us how to be amazing at what we do. Powerful leaders like Mr. Darnell Self, Brian Carruthers, Mr. Don Thompson are going to be there to pour into you to grow. And if you're trying to not just grow yourself, but you're growing an organization, folks, what better way to grow your organization than to get them in front of massive leaders and learn how to lead from the amazing leadership that we have here in Legal Shield. You don't want to miss that opportunity, folks. Make sure that you get registered right now. Today, you could go right to your Ellis Engage back office and you could register for that. You could purchase yourself a ticket, but before you purchase it, call up your person that that's above you, your senior director, your upline executive director, your upline platinum executive director. Say, hey, I want to attend. I don't want to miss this. I want to become great in Legal Shield. They'll get you a link. So get with them, folks. Make sure you get that done. We got a lot of breakouts also that are happening before the event. We got one particular I want to invite you all to, Mr. Joshua Lockhart. Made sure to get this to me. Young Pros is having an amazing breakout session that you don't want to miss, folks, this Thursday from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Amazing. I mean, if you guys want to get close to the fire, like the Young Pros, it's hilarious. If you guys haven't seen the new videos, they just launched a brand new group code for Prospect by Legal Shield with Young Pro specific material in there. Great videos, great presentation specifically for Young Pros. But I love the new tagline, and they like to say, you want to be a Young Pro, right? And it's just super neat. That they're opening it up for everyone to get close to the fire, to learn. They're calling it the blueprint. The blueprint is to help you build. And what they're helping you build is a young business, folks. The Young Pros are the future of Legal Shield. So make sure that you tap into that. There are also other breakout sessions that are happening. Legal Shield in Espanol is having a breakout session. You can find that on the agenda in your back office. Again, Ladies of Justice is always also having a breakout session. Unfortunately, I did not receive that information, so I wasn't able to post it on here, but you can find it in your back office, or if not, go to their Facebook pages and you can find that exactly the times and the links to get into those specific events, right? So again, folks, we got that leadership convention coming up. Make sure you're participating because it's going to be an amazing event. That's how you grow in this business, right? That's how you become great. You get close to the greatness. And you can invite Mr. Darnell Self, Mr. Don Yeager, Mr. Don Thompson, Jeffrey Bell, all right into your living room this weekend. You don't want to miss it, folks. And again, we have weekly trainings that you need to make sure that you're participating in so you can get close to your local leadership in every market here in Florida. You should be receiving emails and invitations. These are also posted in your Legal Shield calendar. If you go to LegalShieldCalendar.com and you go to Florida, these should all be listed there for you to participate and get close with the leaders that are there in your region, folks. And again, we are here every single week, every Monday night, guys, at 6:30 p.m. Eastern time to bring the Florida message to all of our amazing Florida associates, to bring some recognition to you guys, a state message, live interviews with nothing but the best of the best so that you can learn again from success. So without any further ado, folks, I just want to say I appreciate every single one of you. Thank you for all of your hard work. Another incredible closing to a month last month. Keep up the great work, and we will see you all here next week. Take care.